So this is 15 times a camera was at hand to capture these strange moments. Let's check it out.
Large amount of fish along hundreds of kilometers.
We were taking photos around the area and how could you miss this? It was glittering in the sun.
This salmon in Washington State is trying to swim upstream.
Oh my gosh, look, I could watch this all day.
If they are an animal, I can't confidently point to one, especially one that's native to North America.
There is always something far unbelievable happening around that goes unnoticed or is outright refused until caught on camera.
Why are they all not moving?
Here are some of the unfathomable instances where a camera was at hand at the right moment. In August 2023, tourists in the Kumtag Desert of China had an interesting experience on their tour when their hair started flying in the air without any wind or visible reason. They could even feel their mobile phones and vehicles becoming electrically charged.
I'm pretty sure there's a scientific reason behind why this is happening, but it's still funny to see. And I would go there and they're probably there just because they know this would happen and they could get it on camera.
Even their tour guide, who had been working in the area for the last 10 years, had never seen such a sight before. When the video got viral, experts came forward with some answers. According to them, they all were standing under electrified clouds, which created distortion in the electric field. Creepy bubbling. When we hear the word desert, we all think of a barren land, right? Turns out even these sandy areas are now getting rivers of water flowing through different parts. And that's not it. A man that was passing by captured this mysterious bubbling in one of the desert rivers. And he could not figure out what could be causing it. My best guess is that it could be a desert spring or a line break underground. Oil in desert. We all know most of the oil is found in the deserts and the Arctic, but have you ever seen it literally bubbling out of the sand? I had no idea that this could even happen before watching this video.
I don't care where it's bubbling out of, as long as it can make us. That's the rich symbol right there. Right there. Who used to do that? Johnny Mizell?
On another occasion, some of the locals that happened to be cruising around noticed huge spurts of oil literally flowing all over the place. This most probably happened due to some underground pressure or an oil pipe burst, showing the enormous amounts of oil these areas have. Boiling sand. A video from back February 2016 shows a mysterious phenomenon in Gaza that left people puzzled when the sand started to make bubbles as if it were boiling. Although many locals blamed it on the extreme hot temperature for this sand boiling, or maybe this was some kind of giant desert worm breathing, the reality was far different. I agree it looks quite eerie, but the reason is as simple as air stuck in the dry sand escaping on the surface. So if you ever see this, just enjoy the sight of it. Sandfall. We all have seen and heard of waterfalls, but what if I tell you these happen in deserts too, but with sand? Yes, you heard me right. As bizarre as it sounds, this is actually possible, but is a very uncommon phenomenon. Videos of sand falls from Saudi Arabia surfaced the internet in 2017 and have eluded people ever since. These occur when the desert gets too much rain and the sand mixes up with the water and falls down from hills, looking like waterfalls. Fish crossing road. We've all seen people crossing roads, but here's something far more unusual: fish crossing road. Yeah, you heard me right. Skokomish River salmon do this like their everyday chore. They even look cool while doing it. I'm sure you never would have believed me if this was not recorded on video. Sand River. Residents in Iraq rushed out with their phones in their hands when they saw a river flowing in the usual arid areas around them. They all gathered around to check what it was and why such a visually mind-boggling event was taking place. This is believed to have happened as a result of rainwater and sand combining together and then moving as a proper river. Desert Man.
Caralho, velho. Puta, onde que tá agora, pô? Olha lá, ó.
The desert is full of mysterious creatures and great landscapes. The people living there are accustomed to them. But one day, they encountered this odd creature roaming among the sand dunes, and no one could wrap their hands around what it was.
He not odd, he just sad. He walking like, he's sad. Somebody needs to go up to him and see what's wrong. And if you survive it, tell us about it, okay?
They were lucky enough to have the camera out at the right time. Otherwise, no one would have believed what they just saw. Underground blasting. This oddly looks like the opening scene for a giant sandworm's entry. A person in an unknown location captured this scene that left all the viewers curious as to the nature of it. The recorder later revealed that these were controlled Daikin pipeline blasting, done when constructing an underground pipeline through rock. Camel rescue. This camel slept in the wrong position, and now it literally is crying for help, as it can't get up on its own. Luckily, people took notice and came for help. Alright, now the only solution they sought is to try pulling this big camel to the other side.
Alright, no judgment, guys, because some of us have been drunk before, and we woke up in some compromising situations and positions, okay? Alright, so no judgment, but I'm still like, how? Help me figure out how he got like this.
Alright, now the only solution they sought is to try pulling this big camel to the other side. Well, not that bad of an idea, you know why? Because it eventually worked! Now he is pretending nothing happened. Pollen bomb.
He tapped a tree with his digger loader, and you see what happens once the machine taps the tree.
If you've got pollen allergies, you better stay away from this video. These videos were captured in Millville, New Jersey, as a digger nudged some trees, and they created this bright pollen bomb, capturing everything around it within seconds, almost as if it were sand. It's even hard to believe that these trees can hold that much pollen at one time. Resting vulture. No one ever thought of doing this social work. Anyone ever wondered what do black vultures do when they want to catch a breathe midair? Watch this guy. As he was gliding through the air, a black vulture sat on his feet and even got nice pets.
Aí, garoto!
I am pretty sure he is excited. Well done, both of you. Enjoy yourselves. Mischievous hawk. A family on barbecue picnic witnessed a live hunt. A hawk with self-respect in the air circled around its prey. And just at the right moment, it caught the snake. But soon, something unbelievable happened. It came straight at them and dropped the snake.
Yo, I've never in my life seen a more devious hawk. Like, they did something to make that hawk mad, bro. He was mad, and he figured out a way to get them back for whatever it is they did, man. I ain't never seen nothing like that. What can you do to the hawk? Nothing, unless you try to shoot it down or something the next time it come around. But other than that, he just threw a snake at y'all, fam. That's the most disrespect I've ever seen.
Perhaps hog also wanted some good barbecue this time around, and the family, they weren't ready for it. Purple spheres.
Tiny purple spheres seem to appear out of nowhere, and our viewer wanted some answers.
A woman and her husband were passing through the Arizona desert when they found these mysterious jelly-like balls in the middle of nowhere. It was obviously hard to miss for any person, as the striking purple color clearly stands out in the otherwise dull surroundings.
We're taking photos around the area and how could you miss this?
These mysterious orbs look quite like marble balls, but with a jelly-like texture, and were filled with water. They simply could not understand what these were. Some called them alien eggs, while others mentioned that these could be Orbeez, dropped in the area by an unknown person. What do you think? Slipper Man. Normally, any person would get scared from angry lions fighting each other, but the Russians are built differently. This man saw 4 of the lions losing their cool and decided to discipline them in his own ways. Just as he pulled out his slipper, the ultimate weapon, they all dispersed from the scene. Ha! I just remember my childhood from this short clip. Camel doula. Did this camel just spit his heart out? Well, kind of. This is actually a camel's doula, and they all have it. A doula is an organ located at the back of their throat that camels use to either assert dominance or to attract females. So, when I said he spat his heart out, it was purely out of love for its mate. Casual picnic. If you don't know about the true titans, bullhead fishes, well, this is the perfect clip for you. Watch this half-eaten fish who mysteriously ended up on the road while fighting for its life. And to be honest, even though its condition is not good, this strong head is still alive. If you're amazed, then you are not alone, because the person who captured it was too.
It's weird that it's alive.
3-legged deer. A man was filming the wildlife outside his house when he noticed a deer particularly different from all others. The animal was missing 1 leg and still thriving in its life. It might have lost the 3rd leg in some accident, predator encounter, or was born like this. The fact that it managed to hop around even after a major setback shows the struggles that deer went through and yet still is thriving. 3-legged frog. What are the odds of finding a frog with 3 legs in your pot? Normally, these reptiles possess 2 legs. And I wonder if this one can jump higher with the 3rd leg. Furball of fear. At first, it looked like this was just a fur ball fit in a tight space. But wait until a man pokes it with a stick. I definitely won't be stepping anywhere near those spiders for sure. Don't be fooled by looks. This is another family of spiders gathered in one place. I'm pretty sure I'll think twice before touching any tree from now on. Awkward birds.
Why are they all not moving?
While feeding her birds, this woman came across an unusual sight.
Doesn't that mean something spooked them? Something happened there where they're spooked, and that's the reason why they're still like that? Isn't that what it means, I think?
First, they were all moving around as usual, and then stopped at once at the same time.
What's happening right now?
It's like someone had hit the pause button on these tiny critters. Unsuspecting magician. It would get super difficult to focus on your meal if a person like this comes and sits beside your table. A couple noticed an unsuspecting person casually making a napkin float mid-air, and it definitely looked real. Luckily, they had their cameras recording at the time. Here's another mind-blowing person performing a similar trick. And this time he was totally aware of his spectators and still managed to keep doing it. I'm impressed by the trick though. Snake in snake. Now, what are the odds of a snake getting stuck in the nostril of another one? Yes, it actually happened in India, when some men found a cobra with a smaller blind snake in its nose. The tiny one was a burrower, so it most probably had mistaken the cobra's nose for a tunnel and spent its final hours there. These kind men then intended to help the snake and left it in the wild once it was fine. Moth swarm.
Well, like if I want to go to the gas station in just overalls with no shirt, are they going to allow me in?
This scene looks like it's straight from a Stephen King's horror. But this is an actual gas station in Louisiana. Look at this guy. He looks confused, not sure how to react, but definitely thinks it's better to keep your doors closed. Clearly, this wasn't the desired destination place for this mayfly flock. But in their 12 to 24-hour lifespan, all they do is hunt for light. And what better place than this brightly lit gas station?
You can't come in here without a shirt. Does the overall count? Could you enter that gas station?
Sand formation.
It freaking looks like an animated GIF or something.
A local was feeding fish at the Wiley Lake in Aberdeen when he spotted this tiny sand volcano under the water's surface, and it grew from a small pimple to 10 feet in width. The curious bystander wasn't sure what this was, but was truly captivated by the satisfying bubbling visuals.
Like clouds of Jupiter or something.
According to the cameraman Jeremy, it could be a spring feeding the lake, pushing sediment to the surface and creating the volcano-like structure.
That's what I was thinking at first. I was like, maybe, thinking in my mind, like, maybe that's a volcano about to form and erupt. You know, they can just pop up anywhere, fam. I'm of the belief that we need to keep our eyes open. So seeing this triggered that in me, and I was like, is that about to form a volcano? They might need to move.
Snake with OCD. This snake is super obsessive about where it moves while navigating through a brick wall. We all used to do it while avoiding stepping on lines on the floor, but this serpent took it to the next level. Aside from that, it also looks quite one of those good old snake games. Headless man. An odd sight in China got the attention of a pedestrian as he witnessed a headless man casually roaming around in the streets. But others were oddly fine with this mysterious person. Even though this was a magician showing his tricks in front of the open world, it would still make anyone sane look twice and question what was actually happening here. Stuck birds. After watching these videos, I'm pretty sure we'll all feel like part of a simulation, or better yet, a matrix. A pedestrian, after noticing a surprising scene of a pigeon that seemed to be stuck in one place, with no strings or wires attached to or around it.
That's a dead bird, and it's just floating in the air. No strings, no nothing.
Here's another bird caught in a similar sort of a glitch in the matrix. The people around it also could not solve the riddle on how it could happen. Thankfully, they filmed the evidence of this uncommon sighting. Riding alligator. Last time I heard, alligators were capable of munching on anything that came near them. Then how did this bird use the boss of rivers as an Uber? I guess these two signed a truce or something. Lazy seal. A man spotted this cute duo of a turtle and baby seal, and at first it seemed like they were bonding well together, but within a few seconds the recorder figured out that it was using the turtle for a lift. After it hopped on its back for a little ride. These sea pups are smarter than I expected them to be.
They always told us when we were younger, work smarter, not harder. It looks like he cracked the code to that. I ain't mad at him at all. At all.
Glitch. Here's a video that made rounds on the internet and messed with people's minds. In the start, it looks like any normal day. A girl having fun being her favorite Marvel character, and then where did this man in the red shirt come from? He was nowhere in the frame before. As people tried to solve this mystery, some called him a time traveler, while others took it as the perfect optical illusion. Stunt dog. No matter how noisy the stray dogs and your neighbors are, they can't even come close to what this dog is capable of. The canine literally went above and beyond to climb a wall with the help of a tree just to get to the other side of the wall, showing its impressive stuntman-like skills. Zombie giraffe. This unusual giraffe caught the attention of safari goers because of its peculiar condition. The animal had these giant gray protrusions in its neck. Experts said that the poor animal was suffering from papillomavirus that causes warts on the skin of the giraffe and causes irritation to the animal. These warts harden over time and might turn into cancer. But doctors believe there is a possibility of developing a vaccine. Wobbling grass. How would you react if you ever saw wobbly grass like this on the golf course? It's so satisfying that the whole thing almost looks unreal. But in reality, this actually happened due to irrigation break on the mainland.
This is a 2-inch mainline break.
That water had accumulated under the grass and formed this oddly satisfying blubber. Once these men found it, they popped the sheet open and the water escaped from the area.
Hey, some of y'all don't remember waterbeds back in the day, but the ones who remember, doesn't that remind you of a waterbed, the way it used to look? Like my aunt had one, and I think somebody else in my family had one. Yeah, I was super young, and that was real back in the day. I wonder if they still sell those or make those. I'm gonna look for one.
Demonic manhole.
This is more than a bit of movement, though. I have never seen this. Is this the thing that happens? You all have seen this before?
Manholes are made to perform sewage pipe inspections, wash and cover the big holes so that no one falls into them. But this one seems to be housing the whole squad of the Ninja Turtles in the way it was tossing around in particular. The people in this area also jokingly called the manhole a possessed entity, and some even enjoyed its fun dance moves while capturing the incident on their phones as a proof of what actually happened. Half-rendered sky. Here's another video that showed a clear glitch in the Matrix. People captured this weird phenomenon in which both halves of the sky look totally different from each other. And the odd part is that it happened in a perfectly straight line. This situation is called split sky, which occurs when a big cloud beneath the horizon casts a shadow. Plane stuck in air.
Man, it's like standing still.
We all know planes fly at high speeds and typically see them move in the sky. Still, a group of people witnessed something completely opposite to that when they saw a plane stuck midair. And this is not the only time it happened. Some passengers saw a similar sight during their flight as a plane was still playing with their minds. And then another one was noticed by pedestrians, who luckily took out their cameras at the right time to record the evidence. While it could be the perfect optical illusion, it's still interesting how this could happen. Swamp puppy. Alligators have established quite a fearsome reputation among people, but this particular one seems to have been left out of the deal. The canine-behaving reptile basically learned that if it behaved well around humans, it would get some tasty chicken without having to work for it. Just look how it
Something's wrong with y'all. Something's really, really wrong with y'all. I just want to say that. Y'all do know those things can lunge at you, right? If it wanted to. Lunge, and you can't move your hand fast enough. You might lose it. Like, what is wrong with y'all?
Even enjoys getting pets. I'm pretty sure all the other alligators in this area don't like him at all. Floating helicopter. Now, what kind of sorcery is this? You must be thinking that helicopters need those blades in order to move to fly. Then how could this one stay mid-air without any rotation? Some viewers said it's a glitch in our simulation, while others simply had no clue. But I have some answers. This happened because the shutter speed of the camera and the speed of the propeller rotation were the same. So no need to worry about anything. It was just the right camera in the right place. Modern solution. Need to get your car to the dock? No worries. This guy has got you covered with the most easy solution of all.
Dude is holding up traffic, towing a boat.
He simply towed his boat to the electric wheelchair and casually strolled through the streets as if it was not even a big deal. Ball that popped up. Whoa! Did you see that? I'm sure no one expected this ball to bounce that high from the surface. Considering how he had jumped in the water, I thought the ball would go down with him. But it went shooting up in the sky thanks to the gravitational and buoyancy force at display. Now that's some cool physics playing around over here. Dancing raccoon. We all have heard of raccoons as the pests of backyards, but there's more to them than what meets the eye. Just like this cool raccoon who has got some sick dance moves. I'm pretty sure we all need a guy like this in our parties that can light things up. Curious bird.
Look at this.
He's totally checking out the camera, Mark.
A KTVU's weather report had a lot more to show than the average weather insights as a curious bird decided to check out the camera set up by the team. It almost looks like a mega bird is taking over the city.
I might need a little more time for this weather segment because we have a little visitor.
The reporter even asked for some extra time because of the extra visitor. UFO! A pilot had the most interesting yet mind-blowing experience on one of his flights. As he was flying through the thick clouds in the sky, he saw this tiny orb-like thing racing through the area. It obviously was not any other aircraft resembling man-made objects. Once the video got viral, many started calling it the clearest evidence of UFOs. Considering how the governments have accepted alien presence, do you think it could be an actual alien ship? Hiding in plain sight. Residents in Moscow spotted this odd saucer-shaped cloud passing over Andropov Avenue, and it started a debate among the masses how oddly it resembled a UFO shape, and even moved independently of the other clouds. Some even said that it was an actual UFO cloaked inside a cloud. I personally have never seen anything like this, and the pedestrians were definitely lucky to watch and film it on camera. Sluggish snake. We all have seen snakes slithering around with speed. Almost everyone is afraid of them. And then there's this snake that was caught walking in the most sluggish manner. Looks like I'm not the only lazy creature on this planet. This is the puff adder snake. And although it looks funny, this is one of the highly venomous viper species. Ants ritual. I'm pretty sure you must have seen ants moving in straight lines till now, but this video is far from normal ant behavior. A person found an odd behavior in ants as they were all moving in a perfect circle. While some thought they were performing some rituals, the reality was far from grim. This ant colony was stuck in a death spiral. This happens when they lose the ability to communicate and navigate due to overcrowding, confusion, or chemical disturbances and blindly follow each other in a circle. Fierce beetle. If I ever saw that beetle, I would probably run the other way. Did you just hear that bullet-like noise it makes from its wings? I'm impressed at how this man is holding the beetle in his hands. And once it sits in one place, it becomes a cute bug. Maybe it has dual personalities. Hundreds of bats. Now, wasn't that the perfect opening for an apocalyptic movie? Surprisingly, this actually happened in Topolampo, Mexico, as thousands of bats flew out of a cave to hunt for food just before sunset. Some people were lucky enough to not only visit this enticing yet horrifying scene, but also to capture it on their phones as an everlasting memory.
Only place something like this can happen would be where? Gotham City. That had to take place in like the outer skirts of Gotham City or something like that. Oh man, I gotta go watch Batman. That just made me think of Batman.
Headless man. Alright, these are the men who mounted a mountain and now enjoying the foggy scenery. But wait, did you notice that? Reverse, reverse! Where is his head? It looks like no one is bothered by his presence. He literally doesn't have a head. A hike with a headless man? You gotta be kidding me. I don't want to say it, but it looked like a last hike for these young people. Lucky shot. Alright, watch this clip. He looks like a man with a plan. At first, it's the usual shot, but what's truly amazing is this dancing bullet. You know when the ice is too thick to penetrate, when even the bullets go insane, and this is exactly what happens when it didn't accept the defeat and still tried to do at least something. I'm sure there is a physics explanation, but I really like the dancing bullet. Odd bubble. That suspended bubble is surely a glitch in the Matrix. How many of you know a point in your life when a simple bubble denies its fate? A man noticed a bubble from its cleaning product hanging in the air, neither going downwards nor moving anywhere, a complete suspension in the air. This was the moment when all the physicists of the world were shocked to their cores, not knowing how to answer this riddle. Well, it definitely was amazing. Sky mower. I'm pretty sure you must have seen this video. It's truly a classic. When it came out on the internet, it blew everyone away. And why wouldn't it? Because it's not every day that you see a mower that flies. But to be honest, what's it gonna cut? The clouds? No doubt, it does look pretty amazing. However, it was actually a model airplane with a lawnmower chassis. Here's a man flying another similar model with an airplane. Honestly, I was impressed with the video when I first saw it. Tree climbing goat. Well, this tree doesn't grow goats. Rather, these goats have somehow thought of a miraculous idea and decided to mount this tree. Most probably they wanted to eat, but ended up being the spectacle of a lifetime. I mean, goats are incredible. You don't believe me? Watch this next clip. Who would have believed watching this to be true? But no matter how much ever it may look unbelievable, but with their incredible mounting skills, they can climb literally anything. Excavator in water. Yeah, it doesn't look like any fish we've seen before. Now you know why this video is about people who were present just at the right moment. This excavator is perhaps a better swimmer than me. But the point is, where is it going? What does it want to dig in the sea? Well, what do you think? Tell us in the comments. Half fish. Fitness freak walrus. If you were looking for inspiration to join a gym, this has to be the perfect video for it. I'm actually a bit impressed how this walrus is more active than me, and most of the people I know. It will be ready for the Walrus UFC in no time. Waterbender. Remember how we always wanted to do an air or water bender? This guy is living that dream in real life. He used a water wall to block the ball thrown at him by an unknown person, and it was captured at the perfect moment. Giant hand.
Do you need a hand?
If you ever get to visit the Atacama Desert, make sure you visit this giant hand sculpted in the middle of the vast landscape that captured the attention of many in its time. The fascinating piece of art was designed and constructed in 1992 from concrete and iron. The idea behind the huge hand reaching out to the sky was to express human frailty, pain, and loneliness. Cool stick bug. This is what I look like hanging on to the last bit of sanity in my life. Nah, just kidding. A group of friends were driving back from a trip and were surprised to see a lazy stick big hitch on their car to get to another location. I must say, it was a pretty impressive grip holding on with that much pressure.
I was about to say, that joke pretty strong, man. To be holding on, I don't know what speed they going at, but that thing pretty strong. Seriously.
Sure seems like a tough job. Camel eating cactus. We all try to stay as cautious as possible upon dealing with or passing a cactus, but these camels seem to be eating as if these were just some crunchy chips, having exactly no problem with the huge spikes all around this plant. These desert animals munch on cacti with zero hassle and don't feel any pain even while chewing on them. I must say, I'm pretty impressed by camels now. Best friends. All right, brace yourself for the most unexpected footage of the decade. This cat is probably battling with some existential crisis because it has made a rat as its best friend. And it was even filmed licking it. I'm starting to rethink what I knew about the cat-mouse rivalry. Playful foxes. Although this trampoline was never meant for foxes, but be prepared to see the most adorable moment of all time. These foxes have somehow figured out the elastic nature of this jumping mat. Now, there is nothing that can stop them from having the time of their lives. When they say cheerfulness is a true gift for young age, that's definitely right. The amazing potholes. Life is an amazing thing, as it finds a way to progress in the most testing environments. Watch these potholes in the Utah desert. Apparently, these are just dumps storing rainwater. But as you look closely, you find these ephemeral beings swimming around waiting to be hatched. But it's very sensitive to change, so next time you see them, just enjoy the scenery from a distance.
They'll hatch as soon as the pothole gets water.
Open discussion. Hold on, as you are seeing the most unbelievable mysteries ever recorded. Literally, it looks like a river of fish. One believes it or not, but that's what happened. And honestly, scientists are still afraid of this footage because they cannot find a good explanation. How did all these fishes get these in the middle of the desert? Indigenous people thought of it as ominous, while some thought it just to be a miraculous happening.